Nico! That's enough fun with the Triforce. Let's get this thing going. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in, Nico. Nico! I love that I have that to do it for me now. Let me take a couple of sound readings. I can hear myself coming from playback. I have green squares everywhere. I only have 135 dropped frames so far, and I've been streaming for 4 minutes and 44 seconds, so I'm doing pretty well here today. Oh, Gingy, welcome in. You are just this is a good opportunity to come in now because my internet has been trash for the past week. Today it's finally kind of started to stabilize. I think I'm gonna hold on. I'm only at 0.7% dropped, so I think I'm doing pretty well now. It looks like I'm coming through. Let me bob my head so I can test myself out. I think my video stream is actually streaming instead of chopping. It really screwed up some of my hopes and dreams for Zelda. That's probably why I'm going to play it mostly offline now at this point. Welcome in, everybody. Yeah. Oh, well, yeah. Everyone knows you yell, Nico. That's why we don't worry about it anymore. So today I'm finally coming out of my Zelda phase. Lasted a good solid week. I was very happy with it, but now it's time to get back to SnowRunner. I had to decide between a couple of my trucking games for today. That's going to be kind of the overall SnowRunner Wednesday is really Trucking Wednesday. I finally decided to come back to the hard mode SnowRunner because I got myself into a deep, dark pickle last week. That's a trucking term. Don't look it up. Just trust me. And I was actually seriously sitting here wondering, how am I going to get myself out of this? Because I'm playing in hard mode, so to recover your truck back to the garage isn't a free operation anymore. It costs a good $5,000, and I think I've only got 15 to 17,000 in my account on this save right now. Oh, that's a little rough. So, I've got a solution. It finally occurred to me what it should be, and I thought this is a good opportunity for going ahead and streaming. Oh, life in hard mode. Would you like to hear stories about the rest of the tire fire that I've had over the last week? Actually, I was able to ignore a good chunk of it while Zelda-ing. But yeah, starting Monday morning, we got a fridge down. We got a replacement power cooler that wouldn't work until I had to buy an additional adapter. But that's here. Now it's running, and it's keeping it a degree below the danger zone. So we may have some more issues coming with that. Let's see. Mrs. Jedi is running into obstacles in just finding any viable practicum for her degree work. I think it needs to be able to start by August, September, somewhere there. Maybe it's the end of August. I don't know. It's coming up in a couple of months, and so far she's finding it really difficult to find places who are willing to accept free intern work anymore. I think there's been a long enough period of people complaining that it's wrong to make people work for free. So there's been a move to actually pay interns, which is nice. But now that you want to find one, it's really hard to find one, even if you offer to do it for free. So she's been fighting through that. I had a chip come off of one of my molars about a month and a half ago, and the dentist said, yeah, don't worry about it. We'll just fix it next time you're in for a cleaning. So that was on Tuesday morning. So I finally have all of the feeling back and the general growling pain gone from the tooth. It's been a mishigas. But that's not what we're here for. I could do an entire bitch and moan stream. Maybe that's what I could start doing on Sundays. Oh, yeah, just 2 hours of me whining about how hard my life is. Ooh, that would be awesome. Always thought interns should make minimum wage. Yeah, that would actually be fair, especially with so many states moving to $15 minimum wages. I would love to have had one of those when I was in school. And, the minimum wage was $3.75? I don't know. I'm probably making that up. Don't listen to me. Never listen to me. Hey, old Bacon Face is the first one here. Way to go. Chipper Jedi could be my tooth's nickname. I would offer to make up a graphic for that later, but yeah, I'm not going to forget that. That's stupid. So, I had a solution occur to me. How am I going to get myself out of this? I've taken the 2 trucks that I own in this hard mode, and I've turned them both upside down. Actually, let me go ahead and demonstrate that. So here we go. I've got 2 trucks. I've turned them both sideways. It was particularly embarrassing when I brought out the monster with the crane there, because he was kind of hard to get here, because he's got highway tires and only 2-wheel drive. But I got him out here, tried to pick this truck up, and then immediately flopped over like a golden retriever puppy looking for belly rubs. So these 2 are sitting here. I had multiplayer help last week, but all he had available was a pickup truck, and a pickup truck was not turning one of these bad boys back over. So, what can I do? What can I do to help out? I invited my good buddy, Lone Jedi, from... This is going to be hard to do because I've got it plugged into power. I've got Lone Jedi lined up right here on my Steam Deck, connected into my Switch instance, and he is already right up there on the hillside. It took me multiple attempts to actually get this truck out here because this is it's a base level truck, but at least it's a DLC truck because I've got a little better stuff going on my other machine. Oh, was I trying to make a Voltron? Well, that's how it worked out, really, I guess. And oh, hey, Mrs. Jedi, you snuck in on me too. I need to give you an audio to go with the text clip. So yes, there are 2 of me. One of me has a space in my name, the other one does not. Because Steam likes spaces better, I think is how that worked out. That was a good honk you got there, old Bacon Face. Well played. So, yeah. I got the camera pointed so you at least should be able to see this other truck move. I had this very brief notion of, hey, if I invested in 2 capture cards, I could stream both views at the same time, but wow, that's going to get complicated. So I'm not going to do that now, especially because I don't think Amazon will bring me one in the next 75 seconds. So instead, at least I've got the camera set up so you can watch what I'm doing with the other machine, while I attempt to do my own self-recovery here. This truck... Oh, hey, there we go. No, don't go too far. Don't. You... For the record, flip counter down there does not count if it's in a truck that I'm not actually sitting in. So that was just this GMC that I hate, making me hate it even more. Fortunately, this Tatra comes with all-wheel drive and diff lockers and all the good stuff. I think it even has off-road tires. Actually, it might even have mud tires as a base default. That has come in really handy. Can you... Wait, I've got so many thumbsticks going so many ways. There we go. Pivot that over there. It's second person truck simming. Kind of almost is. I don't think that didn't actually connect the wrench. Let me try this again. Wheel and a pole. got 2 screens I can watch, which sounds dangerous. Oh, okay, he's not moving because I got the parking brake on. Thank you, me. Okay, truck number 1 is recovered. And because I have 0 faith in truck number 1's ability to actually turn truck number 2 back over, we're going to line this Tatra up over here. Pivot you around. Give this another shot here. Let's go back to winching. Don't winch the wrong truck because that's also embarrassing. Yeah, I think I have it attached to a truck. I might be about to tow a tree, I don't know. Badoop! There we go. Set the brake. Save some fuel here. Wow, the Fleet Star... Oh, hey, my helper last week actually fully refueled the Fleet Star for me, so I brought some extra gas in this Tatra just in case. You know what? Let me get this wheeled around over here so I can take a look at fueling up the worthless GMC. Crush that tree. You can't quite see it as well enough here, but I just mowed down a stupid tree in a stupid way. I'm gonna mow down this other tree over here. Oh, it's off screen. Damn it. I'm hiding all of my tree crushing from you. Back you up here. Let's make sure that everybody... Oh, the GMC needs juice. Okay, he's full. Everybody's full. You know what? I'm going to fill him up off the roof rack as well. His engine is off. So I can actually put... Let me put the deck aside. Whew, okay, let's get back to... What the hell was I doing? Take that, stupid trees. I know, well, all of these stupid trees knew exactly what they were in for when they chose to grow in these spots, because, you know, they grew in the middle of what are informally roads. Ooh, hey, Streamlabs, you are on the... You know what? I could probably retire Streamlabs from that message and just have my own greeter do it. When I remembered to start the greeter, it didn't quite count as breaking it, Nico, but it was kind of you to point out that I had forgotten to launch my greeter before starting the stream. If KDP were here, if KDP had done it, it would have counted as breaking. But you just count as being a super helper. So, you know, congrats on that. Actually, I would like GMC truck to just head back home. I don't know if he's going to make it, but that's what I would like. I can get him out of here. The mission up in the corner of the lost trailer. It turns out my helper from last week actually had that trailer. He towed it right to the garage. Did not drop it off at, I think it was to be dropped off at the fuel station, or it might be the dude's house next door to the gas station, but it's just sitting there waiting to go. It got recovered from its hard-to-get-to location. So I am just going to take this truck that I don't like back to the garage, because I have to do that anyway. Since it's paved the whole way from the garage to that house, maybe I will take the risk of letting this one try to actually complete a mission. Wow, Is this how this is going to go? This is how this... Of course this is how it's going to go. It's because I hate this truck. And as a side effect, it hates me back. I'm gonna use my tools. Wow, and I'm really gonna need to use my tools. Good helpful tip. What software do I use for my greeter? I custom wrote... Oh, crap. He's probably just gonna roll here. In which case, I will have someone come save him. No, hey, actually managed to hold on. I grabbed onto the tiny little plant instead of the giant tree. think I got it in time. Okay, you say, this is a good news, bad news scenario. I did get it in time. The engine is still running. However, there we go. Give it some gas and it just winches right in. Let me set that. Let me stop the engine. Good job, Smarty Pants, with no sass. Well, I appreciate that. So what software do I use? I have written this myself. It is in, I think it's all JavaScript. Yeah, it's all JavaScript. I'm running it on a Node server on my Mac right here. I started out by using a sample application, a sample chat app that provided Twitch actually provided this. As it turns out, for old people who actually remember this, the chat that you are typing in now is actually, it's run on the good old NIRC. It's just a regular old internet relay chat. So they actually pre-wrote a parser that'll read the messages and kind of make useful bits of information for you to tie onto, and then they've got a skeleton of an app. I think the one that they provide, its purpose is to, every 15 minutes, it'll throw a chat message out saying, hey, everybody, get up and move to get your circulation going, which, of course, is ridiculous. We're all nerds. We're all going to just sit in our chairs till we die. So I took that part out and then rebuilt it to keep lists of who's talked, who I've decided is a bot, so it gets ignored. And then there is a VIP list with the custom greetings for some people and the custom sound alerts for some people. That's the list that I have not actually fully fleshed out yet. So there are some of you who are deathly important to me that to this point I have kind of neglected. I stuck with a couple of people that I knew would be there on the first day to kind of test things out. They've been a little slack about filling that one out since then. But if you have an idea for kind of walk-up music for yourself, let me know. I'm more than happy to accommodate that. At one point in time, it occurred to me, hey, this could be one of those channel point redemption things to pick your own song, but that really implies that you almost kind of have to pick one for you first in order for you to customize it, and that sounds like work. Now, Nico, I knew you were one of those who was going to be there on the first day, so you got the custom, manually recorded Nico shout-out. You were the only one to get an actual voice recording done. Katie, what do we have here? New subscriber. Ninja, welcome in. I haven't seen you for a little while, although I have been really tied up for the last couple of weeks, so that probably explains why. Oh, I love those Bezos bucks. Thank you so much. I am going to give them right back to Jeff, most likely on Amazon purchased crap, but with any luck, it'll be crap to support the stream, like that second capture card I'm talking about, so I can stream my Steam Deck and the Switch at the same time as I attempt to recover myself. Oh, hey, you know what? I remember getting myself badly stupid stuck trying to come up this hill because those little legs don't fit. Oh, there we go. Now you've got typing in the chat, so the greeter has greeted you. Well, yeah, that's true. You've been working, and for a weird change, I've actually been working as well, so that's a terrible combo. I would vote that we both quit that, but then that means we'd have to go find a third person. And honestly, this moon is just too far away for us to go. I'm gonna give this a handful more moments, and then I'm gonna have to go find another truck. It's gonna save me again. I hate this truck. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. If it hasn't come up to this point, I do not care for this truck, although it did finally get far enough back. I can grab that tree and go straight back. Honestly, not even gonna go straight back. Hey, Alex! Welcome! There's someone else who could probably use a custom greeting. I'm just so lazy. I did, however, do myself a favor. I built up my app so that it's driven by a data file that's not all hard-coded like when I first wrote it. So I will say things like it's quick and easy for me to add new data in there. Having said that, I have done a piss-poor job of actually following through, but that's at least that's on me. That's not the software I wrote. So my good friend Lone Jedi can just sit there by himself for a little bit. The only time I've tried driving both at the same time is when Season 7, the compete and mediocre, whatever Season 7 was, with the racing and the multiplayer racing stuff. When it first released, I dove on, I got myself set up to do some of the multiplayer races. I also lined up one extra person just in case that wasn't going to work, trying to do multiplayer for the same household. And I pushed through it, and I was using like one hand per controller. It was funny, but it was not easy to do. So that other one's just going to sit there for a moment. If I can get these two trucks out of this back trail without turning somebody upside down again, then I might just shut down the Steam Deck, let it disconnect. And then if I get myself super stuck, like I did at the end of last week, I can just fire it back up and come save myself. I'm very happy that I have that option. Otherwise, that was going to be $5,000 to recover one of these trucks, to then have to drive it all the way back over to that same spot and attempt a recovery again, and risk turning them both upside down next to each other again. Just use the crane to push off the rock. It depends on which one we were in. When I first got started up, these were both, well, actually at the end of last week, they were both upside down, so they were not going to run, crane or not. This time they started and spun them in on their sides, but they were not craning. And since I'm on controller, quick winching and quick craning are oxymorons. Anytime I want to do this, they are slow motion operations, so any quick roll, I have very little ability to save myself on. But yeah, like the other one where I actually managed to get the winch to latch on. I was on my side, but the engine was still running. That one I could have used a crane to push back upward, since the winch was already in place when I was rock with it. Can't wait to get back into racing. Real racing games, not in Season 7. Oh good, your new replacement wheel is coming. Yeah, you told the saga of that first one and all of the weird wrong parts and everything, so hopefully you'll get a good one out of this batch. I do like the Logitech ones better than the Thrustmasters anyway, although it does sound like that one was a case of a poor rehab model. Okay, I have made it to this point at least. Put on brake. Let's see. I'm going to turn him on to help. Let's see. Wow, you really got stuck. When? I actually have chained tires? How did I get chain tires on this thing? So I'm going to diff lock. Wow, this is very weirdly unexpected here. Field of Amazon, used excellent condition. Yeah, send me a new one. Oh, okay, so it's a replacement of that same model, but an actual new one instead of the refurbished. That's not a bad deal. In fact, I think I've had Amazon do that for me before. When they're used but good as new, turns out it's not even remotely. They actually sometimes will replace it with a true new one. I don't have super high hopes for this, but we'll give it a try. Forward gears usually seem to make things a little happier than backwards gears. Okay. Look at that. Disconnect you, pull ahead over here. Hey, we're through the tiniest of obstacles. I would play some fun sound effect to go with this, but I don't have any of my fun sound makers hooked up today. Our usual tech lead on the client project that I am on is now on 2 weeks of leave, so I am filling in on his role, which means I'm actually working during the day, which is super gross. Not gonna lie about that. It's kind of hard to be lazy me when I'm actually having to do work on stuff. But it also means that I have 0 prep time before Wednesday stream time. Not literally 0, I guess. But it takes me most of the 45 minutes that I've got free just to get things running. And as Nico pointed out, I did forget one thing this time, which isn't bad. Once I got my greeter up and running, then I was all caught up. Picking out sound effects takes time, I guess. I'm not good at it. Sirenscape has a huge selection of sound options, which makes it kind of daunting sometimes. And I've now got the paid version of VoiceMod, so I have access to a bunch of their sounds. Their sounds aren't as good. A little easier to use in a quick reaction fashion, but they are definitely not as varied. And they just released not too long ago their Mac support for VoiceMod, so that is what I'm running on. The downside to that is that it's still a beta, so the quick, easy control that runs on iOS and Android is not compatible yet, and the Steam Deck integration is not compatible yet, so I actually have to run it by manually clicking on Windows buttons, so that takes time. I'm way too lazy. Sirenscape I can at least hook up, and I can put the main player on my secondary machine, which is on my right-hand side over here, so that one's a little easier to get to, but that takes a little more setup. So here we are. I can switch view modes. I can run that horn. Although I've noticed on the Switch, only if you honk again too fast, you can see the pulse emanation from the sound waves, but it doesn't actually trigger the sound file. So you can see the extra wave coming off the truck, but it doesn't make a sound. You have to give it a little extra recovery time, and then it'll do it twice. As a developer, I actually do some debugging, so I look for these things because I'm broken. That's what I do. I look for patterns. We suggest I can take all about it. I look forward to hearing how your wheel does for you. I've looked at wheels so that I can play SnowRunner with a wheel like one of the big boys, but my options on Switch are limited. They're not 0, but they are limited. The ones that I would like are the ones that run over Bluetooth, so that they're kind of globally compatible with everything, and those are very limited in what will work and what won't. In theory, something like one of the bigger, fancier Thrustmasters or Logitechs could work, but I'm not confident in the whole mapping scheme, so I'm probably not going to actually end up doing it. If I could ever find someone that says, hey, yeah, I use this model for SnowRunner and it works great, I would probably go ahead and invest in it. Let me top up. I am headed to the gas station anyway, but since this gas is already paid for, I'll use it. I see the tow rope behind me, so I'm gonna... Yeah, there it is. I've got a trailer here somewhere. I'm gonna at least go give credit for mission completion. Pretty sure we actually got a couple done. Yeah, actually, no, I believe we got 3 missions done last session, and then we got into this whole mess. That little pickup trying to pull stuff around just wasn't handling some of the mud bugs they got out here. And even the Fleet Star with its I think it's up to the off-road tires. Maybe it's all-terrain. The Fleet Star with the slightly better tires was doing a little bit better, but it got flipped. And then this miserable piece of machinery came out with the giant crane, which should have made it easy, but even with all 4 of those anchors thrown out, it started sliding in the mud and flipped itself upside down too. So, it was 3 missions in the first hour and a quarter, and then it was just 45 minutes of Keystone Cops. I believe they call content. Ooh, $1,900. Stop that engine real quick. Hit that. Let's take a look. How am I doing here? I'm rank 6. That unlocked the 1 set of tires I was looking for. That might have been the off-roads. Level 8, I think, is where I need for the mud tires. Or it's 8 for off-roads and something huge like 12 for the mud tires. Mud tires are definitely my goal. Oops, I was getting lazy. I'm leaning in front of my sign. Sorry, shouldn't do that. I should be proper. I probably got an elementary school teacher that would appreciate this better now. According to this, I'm actually 25% done with Michigan. That seems high. I'll take it, but it seems high. Let's come back out to this menu. Those all remain locked. These, I think, at this point... No, the essentials are still good. I thought a lot of these ended up being... No, it's these that are all the logging ones. Yeah, screw those. So the essentials is already loaded up. It wants bricks, planks, and fuel out to the farm. Oh, man, if I'd known that. If I'd paid attention. If I'd been planning. If I'd been playing hard mode. Spoiler alert, I'm bad at this. I would have put the flatbed and the crane on this truck so that I could at least get the fuel over there. Because I'm sitting right here where the fuel lives. Might be... Actually, this truck may not support the bed and the crane at the same time, which makes it even more useless. So yeah, it wants to go over there. So this is the one I want to track. This one's not bad. Where can I actually pick up things? This has some things. That's got the bricks. That's good to know. I bet this has the wooden planks. No, ooh, that one has fuel. If I have the Tatra... Oh, the Tatra doesn't have a bed at all. I don't think I even have a saddle on it. It can only take the high saddle, so I figured there was no point in that. This one's not far. So let's see. That's bricks and fuel taken care of. I know where the wooden planks are on the other map, and I've got the road completely open for that, so maybe that... Maybe this Essentials actually isn't too bad. I want to try here. I'm going to start off first by taking this truck back to the garage. Because this truck disgusts me. It makes me angry to look at to take a quick peek at the customization just to see if I can put a crane, or the crane and any kind of bed on it together. Its other option, at that point, the only other way it's useful is with a trailer. And with these horrible tires, this thing can barely move. Even on its own. This one might be up to all terrains instead of highways now. This is the GMC. When you're in normal mode, this is the first truck you get after the pickup. The 90 billion 365, whatever. The MH950. With a whole bunch of upgrades, I think I've got I might have the raised suspension on. And I think I got all-terrain tires. I think I was able to use my 6th rank in order to at least bump the tires up one step when I put this heavy crane on it. But what was I looking at? It actually, they finally did add the all-wheel drive option, but it's in Russia somewhere. So it's going to be for forever, if ever, before I actually get that. So this poor dude is just churning around on rear-wheel drive. Let's see what's doing with this dude. Where's the tires? UHD, no. Off-roads. Oh, it actually has for real off-roads on it. That's right. When I got I did get the raised suspension. I found that unlock. So when I slapped that on, I figured, well, I'm going to have to pay for 47-inch tires anyway. So I spent a little extra to get the off-road. So this is even with the better tires. It still sucks so bad without the... without the all-wheel drive or diff locks or anything. Interesting that I have a set of those, even though all of the others around it, you need rank 8 to unlock. I don't know, do you unlock tires somewhere? Or did I wouldn't have stripped these off some other truck. I'm not entirely clear exactly where these off-road tires came from, but it's definitely better, but it's still bad. At the moment, it's that heavy crane on top that's actually making it the real problem. So, there's all the saddle stuff. Flatbed's gonna cost some money right now. Theoretically, it looks like there's enough room for both of those, but I don't know that I want to drop 10 grand on these two pieces just to discover that they won't both work. So, we're going to leave you in the garage right now. I'll leave it as my emergency recovery vehicle. It miserably failed in its first attempt at it. Oh, automod. And I'm kind of disappointed that Tonka wasn't in here to get the first auto mod, but yeah, we'll leave it in. This one, I've never taken it back out of the garage after finding all of the upgrades for it. I would find the upgrades and think, yeah, that's great. Most of those apply to other trucks. I'll just use them on the other trucks. I've never pulled this one back out to see how it actually can do right now, but it definitely blows as is. I don't know what's going on with AutoMod here. I definitely see a lot of the same words repeated in what it's holding, so I don't know if it maintains lists per person versus per channel. But yeah, I know the word crap has come up from most people most of the time. And then it goes to weird words that get put on the bully list that in and of themselves are definitely not bad words. And you really have to use them in context for them to even have any kind of mean connotation, but they're still on there. And I think I'm set at the medium auto mod mode. I'm kind of terrified of what it would do with the hard mode. You could get automodded on multiple accounts. That would be a hoot. So what do I want to do? I'm going to come back out here. I want to go change to the vehicle that might actually be able to do something. So let me go grab this Fleet Star. It's already used 15% of its fuel just to... Well, it came a fair distance, I suppose. So yeah, speaking of your multiple accounts, I've got my other account running on my Steam Deck over here, in case you missed that at the beginning of the stream. I had to come rescue myself. Oh, man. I'm so close. But it's a lot less hairy driving if I just take the pavement over to that fuel and back. I'd rather pay the $2 a liter just to afford the drive rather than risk flipping myself again in that same muddy spot. And I need more levels so I can unlock the good equipment. Never realized just how much I'd come to kind of rely on it in my normal mode playthrough, where, you know, I was rank 30 2/3 of the way through Alaska, so I've had access to pretty much everything that didn't need to be an unlockable upgrade for a year now. Fleet Star A. There we go. And he is actually equipped to go ahead and start doing work. I don't need to screw around with swamping beds. As long as I can avoid unceremoniously flipping. Now that heavy crane was making the other one kind of top heavy right through this stretch, so I'm going to be just a little gun shy here. Once upon a time, that was my motto. That's what I loved about the game so much, and why I hated contests so much. Because this game was just all about taking your time, doing the puzzle solving. Just drive nice and slow through obstacles, nothing to worry about. As soon as you throw one of those stupid contests in, you really have to put the hammer down on about half the contests. The other half give you about twice as much time as you really need, so they're a little more relaxed, but you never know which is going to be until you've got them going. Anyone there sees the message, kick the band so they know why. Well, yeah. Otherwise, you got to be a mod to see when something said. I suppose if it's something truly horrible, yeah, I definitely wouldn't pass that through. But because I tend to stick with generally these smaller streamers, I really haven't seen much. There have been a couple of times, mainly around Dan Servo and Jason Bullman, just because they're Damn it. I must have reached over and accidentally managed to mute myself. I have a physical mute on this mic. There we go. The pretty colored mic. I think I reached over to tap something on the Steam Deck. And yep, I muted myself. I don't know. With any luck, that was probably 45 minutes ago. Maybe not. I don't know. But anyway, welcome in. I was telling all kinds of stories. Might have gone through, might have not gone through. I don't know anymore. Definitely missed the baby challenge today, but baby challenge is definitely not my thing in The Sims, so at least I don't feel like I lost out on that. Just on the community, which is sad enough on its own. That, and lift it down. We just sit there with the crane attached. Let me see if I can pack it out first. Yeah, there we go. Oh, only a couple minutes? Well, that's fortunate. I really do need to look when I get back. I have no idea why or how I've got chained tires on this truck. Because as far as I know, those aren't unlocked for me yet. I thought those required the highest ranking. That are... Honestly, it's been a long week for me. So I don't remember. Someone was in helping me in multiplayer last week. I know at one point I'd flipped this, so I went to get my other truck, and I know he jumped into this one. He got it upright once and started driving it, but got it, 40 feet, and then it flipped over again. At some point, I guess maybe he found a way to pay for the chain tires on it. I don't know. Can you take someone else's truck into the garage and upgrade it based on your own rank? Chester. Oh, Chester. Who the hell's Chester? Cheater. Cheater. Me? Just got back from work. Seen who's live. Oh, yeah. Nice. Time to chat. Patter. Ooh, Patter's getting whooped by AI. Is he getting whooped by AI in Age of Wonders 4, perhaps? I got to play a little bit of that game. I'm definitely enjoying it. I like that they've evolved it a little more from 3. I never got to the end of the main story on 3. I just enjoyed playing it for maybe 10. I think I probably played the first 10 story missions. I played a couple of little side things that were kind of like the promotional unlocks. I never got super deep in it, but I like the slightly closer to Civ integration that they've added into it now. Nico, are you cheating on me? Speaking of cheaters. Yeah, I love that game. And I signed up for their dev diary 2-3 months ago, and they sent me an email with a Steam unlock code for an extra helmet or something. But they sent that email 3 or 4 months ago, and you couldn't redeem the Steam key until after you had the game in your library. I actually found that email, and I redeemed it. But I haven't figured out how to get the helmet yet. It definitely told me at the time that, yeah, it was some sort of a helmet redeem, and it was good, and it was on my account, but it's one of those Steam things where if you go to the DLC for the game, it doesn't show up there. It's super secret promo, so I have to figure out how or where you get the helmets. I'm guessing you have to probably build a custom leader or something, and I don't think I experimented with that yet. Yeah, I was 100% ready for and excited by that email for it to just completely disappear from my stack of emails. Fortunately, search came through for me, picked out all of my Age of Wonders 4 emails, and it was actually the 3rd email I had received about Age of Wonders. In case that helps you with your search, because I'm sure it'll be identical. Honestly, I didn't read the dev diary very much when they came through. Pumpkins! Oh, I paid for those pumpkins. I deserve that. I've already got the achievement for pumpkin smashing, so I called that down upon myself. Fuel, fuel, fuel. So many of the button presses on this Switch, in this game, you can't do them too quickly or it loses track. Every other game doesn't matter, but this one, it really doesn't like multiple inputs very quickly. So I need wooden planks. I need fuel. I said it, not Miss Moon, so no extra song here. Let me stop my engine. Let me save some gas. Yeah, I saw you mention that on your Discord, that you can actually have multiple multiplayer games going. Yeah, because it does them async, which is another great innovation that they pulled over from Civ. Technically, well, yeah, Age of Wonders was always basically turn-based anyway, but they've made it a little more Civ-like. Saved email folders would scare people. Oh. I've had... Oh, God, how old? I've got a Hotmail address I've probably had for close to 30 years now. I mean, it was Hotmail was new when I got my account. I probably should have. Actually, I've recently reached the point where it says, hey, you know your infinite email bucket? Yeah, it turns out it's not really infinite. You've got a limit, and I'm pretty sure they've reduced the limit recently to try to encourage you to pay for storage. Even though I've got a Microsoft One account that has a ton of storage, for some reason I can't connect the two. And I don't really know why, but I should. So I've had to jettison some large folders of what's generally pretty much been junk. Scan them through real quick just in case there was something important, but yeah, lots of emails about PC games that I've already purchased, already played through, and whatever was in those emails I really don't need anymore, so I was able to dump a couple of very large, sizable folders related to that stuff. What else did I do? I needed bricks. Are bricks over here in the nice easy place? Oh, you gorgeous beast, you. Yes. Okay, so I am headed over to the warehouse then to go pick up a quick set of bricks. How am I doing on fuel? I am good on fuel. So in theory, I should be able to make this. Look at me, I'm still in just rear wheel drive. This truck can do it. Good old Hotmail and MSN. Pal Talk. Wow, yeah. Super old stuff. So yeah, I've got Hotmail, Yahoo, and Gmail accounts that all share the same name. So it's real easy for me to start flinging out emails if I need to. That was my original story about how I ended up with Lone Jedi 70. There. Is I wanted to sign up for Lone Jedi. And it took a long time, but I finally discovered there is some dude in Ohio who got to Lone Jedi before me. So he got the Hotmail address for it, and he got lonejedi.com way back when. And, you know, he held on to those for a very long time. So when I tried to sign up for Hotmail, it said, nope, sorry, Lone Jedi's already taken. And back in the day, it used to give you the recommendation for some of the alternatives you can try, and it was always the same name, but with usually random numbers after it. And one of the suggestions that came up was Lone Jedi 69. How could I not turn that one down? So I said, yeah, I'm going to take that one because I'm 12. And then it immediately came back and said, no, you violated TOS. You can't have that name. It suggested it to me, but then it filtered it after the fact because this was early in Hotmail. So I decided, well, okay, screw you then. +1. And boom, I'm Lone Jedi 70. And from then on, most other places, most other mails, this Ohio Jedi would beat me to it nearly every damn time. So I just stuck with 70. And then 8 years ago, it was about the time I moved to Portland, he forgot to renew his domain registration. LoneJedi.com became mine. And now I haven't really used it since then. I had GoDaddy. GoDaddy was my registrar at the time, and I had a GoDaddy hosting hooked up to it. So I had a very rudimentary page, but it was tied to a Windows box. And for whatever reason, they refused to ever update any of the utilities on that shared Windows machine. I even tried canceling my shared hosting and then restarting it later, and it just put me back basically on the same server. So it was like it had a PHP parser, but it was so old that most stuff wouldn't work with it anymore, and it didn't have access to Node, which is what I really wanted at the time. It's what I'm using right now for Jedi Greeter over there. So yeah, I stuck it to Ohio Jedi. So yep, I still have my 70. I've got Lone Jedi without numbers in a handful of places now. But yeah, anytime a new email service comes up that I'm going to want to make use of, I grab 70 first, just because then it matches all of my others. But then I look to see if I can grab the numberless version at the same time, just to try to get it added to my roster. Is that one? Yeah, that one's already activated. Ask Kampu is the one who helped open up this stuff, because she was going to help me by filling up one of the repair frames. But in hard mode, it starts with 0 repair points in it, in addition to 0 fuel. So she had to drive all the way over here to find the repair center that's just on the other side of this building for hard mode, in order to get it filled up. Bricks on the loading platform, please. But she didn't want to spoil the experience for me, so I think the stupid contest, which I'm not going to do in hard mode, it auto unlocks. But I noticed the bridge that needs repair. She did not grab that one for me. I have the benefit in this mode, since I am 100% on my normal mode. I have seen everything. So I'm more than happy for anyone to go ahead and spoil any of these missions that they want to. I think my gauge for moving from map to map is going to be finishing the 3 regional tasks that they set out. That's on the main regional menu stuff. Can I just drop that and hope it lands? Yes. Since you have to pay money to move your trucks to new regions. I'm not going to do 100% on all of these, because the contests boil my blood when you're in normal mode and it doesn't cost you anything to try. But you only get 3 shots at them in hard mode. And if you fail, especially if you fail and flip a truck, then not only do you have to pay for the gas, but then you got to pay for recoveries or whatever it is that you need to do. My blood pressure just isn't going to take that. I don't have to do every single task. So is that one? What do I need to do here? I need to set a brake. Do here, and I think I have to go to the global map. Is that it? Yeah, there we go. The regional progress. I got one down with the drilling operation maintained and underway. That will probably be my cue to move on to probably Alaska? I don't know. I got plenty of time to worry about that when I get there. If I emailed the Ohio one and told him to suck it, no, but I did make sure as soon as I got that domain address, I immediately got a page put up there to it that was passive aggressive. I'll admit that. I don't remember exactly what I said, but it was a very gentle, roundabout, Midwestern kind of version of sucking. It was a variation on all your base belong to us kind of meme. Because I'm still 12. But it wasn't profane. I'm going to grant myself that. And I didn't call him out by name because I have no idea what his name is. And it would just be weird if I told Lone Jedi to suck it, because people would get confused. Not that anyone really went to that page. What I really wanted was the Linux support instead. But I fought so hard with all of the Windows stuff. And you couldn't just convert your account to the other one. You had to, even though I canceled it, you had to wait for it to expire legitimately before you could sign up for a new one and pick the other platform. So I decided, screw it. You know what? I'll just host it myself. And no, I didn't host it myself. What am I going to do? I don't have a machine that I want to leave sitting around fired up 24 hours a day. I do use a partial cloud service called Code Anywhere. That's primary purpose is to allow you to kind of do some debugging and testing and experimentation, and it has a server up and running that I can use for hosting web pages like that. And there's no real explicit limitation on how long you can have it up or how many hits it can take or anything like that. But the catch is that if the page isn't hit every so often, they will actually spin that server down just to save their own stuff. Because if you aren't using it, obviously you're not using it, so it's not a big deal. Which makes it non-ideal as a non-high traffic web service. So I use that for a little while, but through my work, I've got some Azure credits, so I could host some stuff out there, but that gets us back to the Windows-only support, which, sadly, being by day a Windows developer, it really isn't enough to satisfy what I want to tinker and play with personally. I have done a little bit of JavaScript as part of my day job, so I've got exposure with it, but I'm certainly above junior level at it, but Windows development, I am officially senior software consultant. I'm middle consultant on JavaScript at best, so I'm trying to do more and more stuff to experiment with it. Putting together my greeter has been a nice job in messing with socket connections and things. But in order to really do that with gusto, I need to have a server, even if it's a crappy server like the shared one through GoDaddy, I need one that's always available. 90% uptime would be fine. I don't need like the 9 nines paying $100,000 a month to enforce because you're an actual money-making business. But something that doesn't shut itself down if you don't talk to it every 6 hours it's got to be better than that. Hey, I made it back to pavement. Here's the site, not the real Lone Jedi, not some Ohio jerk Lone Jedi. Anyways, welcome. Actually, what he had on that page that he ran, and it was there for years, untouched. He had, just in large text. I don't remember what color it was, but he at least colored it in an explicitly selected font, so not Times Roman, but it was Lone Jedi centered across the top, and then he had 2 pictures of his admittedly good-looking motorcycle, and his motorcycle had an Ohio plate on it, and that is all I knew about him. And he had that page with those 2 pictures and the one word for years, until he finally forgot about it. I'm gonna go do a quick fuel top up over here. Excuse me while I reverse. A little bit of horn as I go. Oh, hey, can I knock down this fence? It's my favorite thing in SnowRunner. It's one of my favorite things in SnowRunner. Don't... No, leave the beacons on by all means. Yes, there we go. I forgot he actually had a beacon. Okay, you are topped up. This is Officer Lone Jedi with LJPD. I need you to run these plates. That is true, he didn't bother blurring his plates. I could have gone full Columbo on him and figured out who he was, but why? I ran with a gaming clan. Xbox 360 days, mainly. So I had just Lone Jedi there, no numbers on that one. And it was old school gamers, so everyone else had an OS in front of their gamer tag so that it was all cool and everything. Turns out there was some guy, I don't know how or why, but he already had OS Lone Jedi. And our clan leader and I both sent this guy private messages for like 6 months asking, "Hey, dude, can I have / purchase your gamer tag from you? I'll pay you to change to something else so it becomes available and I can take it." And, for some reason, I think he was offended by the notion. I don't really know why. I don't know whether it was the same guy or not. That would be kind of funny. I'd feel better, I suppose, if it was, because then I'd know that he was a dick. But nope. OS Lone Jedi never gave his up, so I had to be just plain old Lone Jedi. But we played mainly the original Call of Duty games at the time, and you could put your own clan tag prefix on there, so I had to settle for that. Skip scene, I don't really know. Why are you a ghost? So there's shortcut through the dirt, and there's long cut through mostly pavement, so I know which one I'm taking. Hey dude, are you from Ohio? Well, I didn't know at the time that someone had staked out lonejedi.com when I was doing that. That would have been long. That would have been 2009, maybe? I'm listening to my bones creak as we tell stories about my username. The irony is that my real legal name is Ohio Jedi. Or did I? I just hope I don't flip my truck here on the highway, because it's the thing that I would do. This is the last time the GMC was useful, was in bringing the, I think it was bringing the metal beams to that repair site. Mud, everybody paddle. Ooh, hey, no. Those chain tires, wherever they came from, whatever chain tire ferry brought those, they actually kind of helped out in the mud. Someday I'll actually put this in the garage so I'll take a look at what's on there. So these are chain off-road tires. It's actually kind of useful. Give a honk in town, let everybody know that I'm back from the dam. We just have to run out to the lumber yard. Buy us some lumber. Lovely drive. Hardly changed since the last time I was over here. Rumble down this hole. I think it's just muddy and choppy enough that even in this better than the GMC truck, sometimes I needed to put in an all-wheel drive just to get back up the hill. So that's going to be a test of how much these tires are doing for me. It's quite bouncy out there. If I can climb this hill and rear-wheel drive, I'll be feeling pretty happy about it, relatively speaking. Correctly, and I'm going to give myself a 50-50 chance. The crane actually wants to extend off of the right side of the truck, so I'll get this turned around. Cargo wooden planks on the loading platform. Thank you so much. Oh man, I remembered one thing today. I feel like a champion now. Drop you back there. Get another wooden plank on the loading platform. Pick you up, swing you back over here. This one I'm going to gently rest, but not detach just yet. Okay, those are... Okay, we're headed back to the dam. We're heading back to the farm. We've got all of the essentials. Ironically, this is still less total cargo than you need to make one crate of Spam in Ontario. but this is going to completely rejuvenate the entire farm system over here in Michigan. Did you just... Your body reminded you of that, Jared? Well, I wish they would stop. Oh man, we are climbing this hill without a second thought. I'm happy. It's doing good. I'm almost of a mind to go ahead and let my good friend Lone Jedi with the space in his name go ahead and take a break. But I'd have to lean forward to pick up the deck and disconnect, so I guess we'll just let him sit there in the bottom left corner for a little while. Don't crash into that hole. Bumble our way back through town. Oh, hey, I have a question. I've got a question. Where's my Chevy? Oh, okay. I opened up that tower and then decided I was done. Okay. I was feeling pretty rage quitty last week after putting both those trucks upside down. Oh, hey, look at that. Apparently, my good buddy Lone Jedi with the space in his name got tired of waiting. He just disconnected. Oh well, screw that guy. He wasn't helping anymore anyway. Until this truck ends up upside down, then I'm going to ask him pretty please to return. Oh man, we just churned right through that one too. Man, I'm thinking these tires may not be a terrible choice. And that one leads... Oh, you know, if I get really overconfident, that mission back there calls for fetching the trailer out of the swamp over here. These tires might do it. These might be viable. I will wait until I finish this load of lumber. Sits right down there. I can't see it. Oh man. Yeah, okay, yeah, there's the stuck trailer. Oh, okay, the stuck trailer comes back to there. Drainage is a different one. I'm burning fuel, but I'm gonna... Oh, okay, drainage is the one where you drive through the swamp just to find stuff. I don't want to do that one. That one's a little scary. But the stuck trailer... I'm going to regret this. Definitely going to regret this. But I'm going to do it anyway. Because that is called content. Doing stupid things, knowing that failure is imminent. And then allowing the gathered masses to laugh at you for it. So stand by. Prepare your laugh buttons. I was waiting to need four-wheel drive just to get over the little stones here, but we made it. The rock and stone! That one I would do a quick routine. You know what's going to do a quick routine? I'm going to steer with one hand. Probably going to crash. For rock and stone! For rock and stone! I needed that one. Better catch some Z's. That is a good idea because it is still crazy late for you this week. You should definitely be in bed by now. But thank you for coming by. I appreciate it. And tomorrow is going to be on Kick. What are we playing tomorrow on Kick? I saw you mention it somewhere, and it's not the Convoy. That's Friday. Are you going to do some Age of Wonders tomorrow? Wow, did I ever totally overshoot? I need to go back to there. Oh, going back to Portal. Okay, that's not what I saw earlier. Going back to Portal would definitely be fun. Portal 2 is definitely larger than Portal 1, so... unless you were being aggressively, overly optimistic, I would not expect you to actually finish it in the next stream. But yeah, who am I to say? If you crank through the hard puzzles, yeah, maybe. Especially with Portal 2, there's so much fun to the story in it that it would be a shame to erase any of it. Okay, we're gonna take this down each side. We're gonna avoid too many risks of rolling. We're gonna take some risks. We're gonna try to avoid taking too many. I would be happier if I had a better winch, but I am not high enough ranked to afford a better winch yet. We go throw in the all wheel. We're getting a little churny. Do I have... Ooh, hey, look at me. I do have diff lock. I think I got enough deceased trees over there that I might be able to reach my way out two-step. Ideally... Oh man, I gotta back up. I gotta back up way slow. Oops, reverse on gas. It's not a good idea, but it's not a terrible one. It's a bad plan. It's not terrible. Can I actually reach anything back that way yet? Ooh, what about that? What's that thing right there? That's getting me some backwards. Oh, hey, the mud's much better over here. Save myself from having to back too much farther. Oops, let's go forward. I'm going to work on winching this in while I'm driving out. Worst case scenario, if I can winch it all the way into me, I can hook up and then I have my winch available for escapism. Bam! Oops, no, I'm going to be in forward gear now. Anyway, Miss Moon, if you are still on, good luck with whatever you're choosing to watch tomorrow. I will have Kick tuned in to keep a rough eye on you. But over the next 2 weeks, since I'm actually working, we'll see how involved I can actually get. Why are the rear wheels not really even turning? Put the diff lock back on, I guess. Happy to see the front grinding at least. I expected more from it. Okay. Auto. Diff lock auto disengaged. We just have to pull our way up this little hill. Man, I'm gonna get I might actually make it to 3 missions complete today. It will have taken me a little bit longer than I managed to get through the 3 last week, but without the same level of service. And honestly, the first at least half hour was busy de-surfacing anyway. Easier on fuel consumption. Back to just rear-wheel drive. Headlights on. Oop, my beacon had turned off. Okay, now I'm safe. The rest of this mission is gravy. Trailer and the load, I have to go so slow through this rock so that I'm actually not risking damage. So, hey, Rico, if you're still about, how is the sound level right now coming off of the game? I cranked it up when I was playing Zelda, coming off the capture card, because for some reason Zelda seemed remarkably quiet. So I was actually running it at the full 0 dB, max it out. And I think it was a decent volume then. So if I wanted it louder, I don't know what I was going to do. I guess I'd have to turn everything else down and move the master up. This one I went ahead and I slid it back down to minus 30. I found a lot of these games kind of minus 30 to minus 35 actually work pretty well for making them audible but not overwhelming. So I'm hoping that this one is kind of sitting back in that range right now. I think it's just getting into the yellow, which is a little louder than I used to run it at, but since I am not running my monitor so loud that I can hear it, but as a side effect, everyone else can hear it too, I'm not totally keyed in as to just how loud it is. So is like, yeah, that's kind of what I thought. Let me slide this down a little farther then. From minus 30 to about minus 34. I could sit down a little bit. Some of the rumble on the truck was just getting into yellow. I don't see that anymore. Actually, even the horn didn't quite make it to yellow. Since it's not as overpowering as, say, music would be, it's probably not too big a deal. $1,600, 240 experience. That's a good number. I'm liking that. Where are we doing? 600 out of 1,500. Well, okay, we got a ways to go for that one. Oops, actually, I didn't mean to shut off the engine. I just did out of habit. Split the audio with the capture card, so what I hear and what Stream hears, control separately. Yeah, actually, at the moment, I've only basically got desktop sounds coming through my headphone. And really, that's mainly so that when the alerts go off, I'm sure to hear them. But, yeah, definitely the capture from the game I don't have coming through because I don't need to hear it through the earbuds and coming off the TV and anywhere else. I got everything running. And the capture, so that's why the capture card, that's the one I can see the audio monitor and what it thinks the volume is, but it's really hard to tell the difference. Especially after I've done enough shifting around and the microphone has moved away a little bit farther, I tend to get a little quieter as it slides away. And the gain control is a dial on the bottom of this mic, so anytime I happen to bump anything down there, I have found that I've effectively turned my own volume down a little bit on myself. I'm doing some quick remembering. Wait, what am I doing? Where am I going? I am doing the essentials. I even remembered the name of the task this time. I just got to get it reselected so it shows up in the top corner. That way I feel better about what I'm doing. Stream always open on your phone with Bluetooth headset. You know, at one point, especially when I'm doing tests, I actually have had a wired set of headphones hooked up to my monitor laptop so that I can get the immediate feedback that way. I have also done a couple of some offline tests where I just set OBS to record and then do some shtick and then play it back through headphones so that I can see what everything was on the backside. So it's a lot of me talking into the mic, what volumes are set where and how, and what the monitor readings and the OBS sound control are looking like, just for reference back. But yeah, I've got a set of AirPods. I could hook those up, so I've got headphones upon headphones upon headphones. I've also got one of the wireless sets. I forgot the induction, whatever they call them, where the speakers themselves sit just in front of your ear hole, and so the sound reverberates through your head so that you can hear it. I can actually then wear a set of headphones inside, and I've got dual sounds coming through. But when things like the Avalanche Goalhorn Radine or something come through, It's going to be double loud and undoubtedly out of sync. So it's going to make me dizzy and probably a little barfy. So for the moment, I will mainly stick to test mode. Wait, I need my safety. There we go. What was that? Was it? I think it was Ragin, who would always get annoyed at me for putting beacons on for safety because he decided that was his thing. But it's 100% guaranteed law truth. Beacons for safety, man. Oh, yep, you do the dual headset thing too. Yeah, I've tried that. The other fun one is when I've got, you know, right now. Well, I used to have this headset plugged in to the laptop itself, but when I got the super fancy mic here with its own headset port, I now run it through that. So I've had it set up where I've got the two wired headsets, and so I just have the left from one set in here and the right from the other set in here. And then I get super stereo effects when I'm actually monitoring a live stream on that 2 to 8 second delay. Before I can forget again what I'm actually doing, let me buzz this over. So this will actually allow me to have completed a third mission. Don't really keep track of how many missions per hour, or 2 hours in this case, I do in my regular mode, but since multiplayer is more than happy to go ahead and tell me how many I've done, it's kind of fun to monitor my progress that way. Yeah, I didn't even slow down to think about going into all-wheel drive. For rank 6, this guy's gotten a little beastie for me. Game's way of apologizing for sticking you with that GMC when you first start in normal mode, making everything as hard as it possibly can be, but then you get this one for free just sitting there at that garage when you first unlock it. Okay, I'm gonna very quietly destroy these pumpkins this time. When I got all vervy and yelled pumpkins as I drove over them, they proceeded to do a lot of damage to my undercarriage. And I'm hard mode, so damage counts. And I will never pay the $2,500 just to unwrinkle the grill for no mechanical benefit. That's nonsense. Nope, I gotta hit it slower. Woo! The essentials are done! 440 XP. Wow, that's close enough to halfway to what I need. With these supplies, keep up the food supply, blah blah, yada yada yada. Oh, that bridge just needs planks. Oh, you know what? I've got about half an hour left available. I think I can pull off that mission doing the exact same route. I thought about it. I would have double loaded on planks. Now that I'm saying that out loud, let's go see if anyone else needs planks. He needs a maintenance trailer. That one's going to be a little gnarly to get to with my current setup. Concrete slab, consumables. I'm right where the consumables live. Where's the preacher's house? Ooh. You know, I could take the consumables over right now and just save that extra work. Yeah. Oops, I gotta actually make sure it's activated. Materials order. I'm going to track it just so it properly shows up. I'm going to need to get turned around so that my crane's facing the convenient way anyway. Since I'm in mud, let's just do all-wheel drive right now and get it over with. Consumables, loading platform. Nope, wrong button. There we go. This is the heart and soul of hard mode. Trying to do route optimization, which is honestly something I kind of do in normal mode anyway. In normal mode, I don't sweat it so much when I screw it up and do things the long roundabout way. So I actually have to kind of pay attention a little better now. And thus, here I am. Look at me. I'm paying attention. Pack cargo, restore, and we are off. The gas station is across the street from the preacher's house. I think in this case, I will go ahead and just buy gas there rather than putting a couple hundred drain on the trailer that I've got sitting at the garage. I'll save that for other uses. But sometimes triple headphones. Well, yeah, if you've got those kind that sit in front of the ear hole, yeah, I guess you could triple up. And then, yeah, you'll have no idea whether your audio is actually working correctly or not, because you're going to hear it 3 different ways. I have the advantage of being kind of lazy and not too worrisome about it. I've got a small regimen of about 6 tests that I run for things when I'm first getting set up. It needs to be 7 so that I get my greeter included on my regular list. I've actually typed up a checklist, but I don't have it in a spot where it's super convenient and obvious to me when I have all of the apps that I need up and running. Well, I've got my countdown clock is a custom job. It's mostly copied code. I just tweaked it a little bit to suit my own needs. I could do something similar to that, so it's actually an OBS plugin that I could have sit up on top with my checklist, so it's somewhere quick and easy to spot. Yeah, usually, as I've steadily grown what I'm using on the stream here, it's always the last item on my checklist is the most recently added one. That's the one that I usually forget to get to. Fortunately, sound levels haven't been much of an issue until Zelda. I don't know why Zelda is so quiet compared to every other Switch game that I play. Because it doesn't really seem like it's any quieter coming out of the TV. But monitoring the audio level in OBS, it is dramatically quieter than even this game with just that engine idle in the background. And hopefully that sound didn't come through, but I just had a serious rumbly in my tumbly. Very unprofessional with my gut sitting this close to the mic for that to have propagated through. Just further reinforces my need to go ahead and shut her down about 6 here. Cargo management, deliver those. Hey, look at that. We're already a third of the way through that one. I'm going to take a quick peek. Yeah, look over here. We actually have something. We got the concrete slabs right there that want to come back to the service hub. That one can be very slightly optimized by going ahead and doing the lumber repair first. $2 a liter. I'll take it. Thank you very much. Now I need to flip over. Oh, this is a task, isn't it? For this bridge. So this task is just gonna clear itself when I go to the other map. But maybe it'll help me to remember to reselect it when I come back if I've got it up now. I don't know. I'm making up rules as I go. The real sign of a hard mode run is making up rules to make things even harder for yourself, apparently. I actually haven't seen too many of the ultra hard mode streamers still doing that lately. I kind of first got started on this when I first really got into watching the streaming on it, which helped encourage me to get back into the game. That was probably pretty close to about a year ago. Almost all of the streamers I was watching at the time were doing crazy hard mode runs. I think It's Thompson was the only one who wasn't at the time. And then I got introduced to Miss Moon through It's Thompson. She knows better than to waste her own time doing this hard mode nonsense. I'm wasting my time doing this nonsense hard mode stuff just because trying to keep my chops built up while I wait for Season 10 to come out. Because I have definitely found that there's a bunch of stuff that I used to have to do to get these underwhelming trucks to actually do stuff that I have not had to do in the better part of a year, having access to all the good trucks. So relearning what I have unlearned has actually, I hope, been beneficial for my game going forward. So when I get to go back to my normal mode run, with any luck, maybe I'll find some contests that don't make me want to spit swears. I will grant, the ones in Ontario, I don't think any of them were the super ultra frustrating kind. I think there were 2 per map, and I think they were actually pretty reasonable. I think the 2 on Burn Forest gave me enough time with a little extra left over to be able to do those, and I think the 2 on the first map, what's it face, the river one, those I easily had twice as much time as I actually needed. So, those are my favorite kind of contests, the one that honestly aren't really contests. Like do a higher level hard mode with all the DLC trucks available. Yeah. But yeah, with just hard mode, DLC trucks are out, but the New Game Plus will let you. So that's what I did for the Krokodilsk one that I've got set up on my Steam Deck. And I actually found another mod map that I kind of like that's something about the prospector and his treasures. And so there are a bunch of mines around the area, and most of the cargo management is about first moving, the missions are for moving your tools to the mines in order to get the production going, and then they become, I guess, warehouses that produce materials that you then take back to another town somewhere. It actually sounds, almost like it's got a little bit of a role-playing engagement to it. That one I would definitely like to do. I set that one up in New Game Plus so that things weren't totally given to me. But, so I gave myself a little extra starting cash, and I allowed myself access to the DLC trucks. But then I set it to, like, the hard mode version of selling things, so you only get half the money back from them. And a couple of other tweaks. And naturally, after months and months of announcing I was going to 100%, no matter what, whenever I did any of these customs, I was going to make sure that it was never nighttime in this game. I forgot to change the time settings, so the sun still sets on yet another part of Canada, but it's easier to just keep going than to set the thing up all over again. Which is kind of how Krokodilsk has gone for me. Yeah, Krokodilsk, I will never be anything other than level 1. So everything is harder than it really needs to be, but there is at least some entertainment value to it. Gonna acknowledge now, though, I haven't been back to that play in a little while. I think there was this guy, King Ninja, who actually helped me out the most last time that I was doing that. He was particularly helpful because he was not restricted to all of the same crap I had to work with. But I very distinctly remember the circus coming to town when we were trying to get those giant 8-slot trailers across the really wonky bridge that they had built, or semi-built. That one was a fun time, but so many of those missions basically mandate that you drive all the way across all 3 of their maps. And there's the Bridge of Doom, that as long as you've got a full-size truck and not a scout, isn't really a problem. And then there's that one cliff face that isn't wide enough for a full truck. You tend to go tumbling down that I don't really know a good way to get a truck with a trailer around that. And other than that, it's just spending forever driving in giant circles, and there's only... I was thinking there's only one place in the entire trio of maps to get fuel. I think there's technically 2. There's your garage, as long as you're playing in that particular mode. The garage would allow you to refuel there. And I repaired a fuel station that I thought only provided fueled barrels, the cargo, but it turns out it actually does open up a gas station. But however it is that I set up my New Game Plus, you actually have to pay for the gas there. But nothing in Krokodilsk provides experience, so you are forever locked at first level. Still new to the heavy trailer? Oh yeah. I've gotten better with that trailer, but I would not go so far as to call myself good with it. I could probably get it around most of the place here in Michigan at this point without crying too much, but yeah, especially, what was that? Dawn, I think I was trying to use it on. And it's not like there's anything really technically difficult on Dawn, but there's so many places with so many of those little rises, little hilltops that are just a little too tall for those stupid stubby legs. Always hanging them up on stuff. I've also not mastered, but I love that trick of putting the little scout fuel trailer up on the tongue of your large trailer. The 5-slot step deck trailer I found myself using a lot in Ontario. It would have been the perfect candidate to it, but I just never quite... And it might be because things may work slightly differently on the Switch, but I have a lot of trouble getting vehicles and trailers to actually lock down on anything. Especially, you know, the bed, the actual tilt tow beds that are designed for you to tow vehicles on. I can't get vehicles to lock into place. I have to winch them down as tight as I can, make sure the winch stays intact, and then lift up the rear flap at the back end of that trailer to try to keep them in place. And that's what was frustrating me so much when I first started Krokodilsk. When you come onto the map, you know, there is no garage. You've got a Voron with the vehicle tow bed, and there is a pickup there that you have to tow all the way across all 3 maps, in addition to doing some repair jobs to be able to get to the garage on that 3rd map. And there is 1 scout fuel trailer in the middle for you to refuel on. And yeah, that just drove me nuts on that stuff. But I could never get the pickup to pack. So yeah, every time you go around a corner, boop, it would try to go flying off. When I came across that little section of highway that's crumbled away and it's not wide enough for a truck, I actually got the truck past it, but it knocked the pickup off the side. So we did this big pendulum action. It spun me around 90 degrees, but I managed to keep the back wheels on pavement. So then it wouldn't winch it back up because the angle was funny, so I had to drive along the edge of the cliff, dragging the pickup, banging away on the side as it went. Really wish I could have just packed the stupid thing. Turn on beacons. Oh, that's right. I am going to the bridge. It's not a bridge yet, but it's gonna be as soon as it gets these 2 planks. And then when I am there, I can pick up the concrete slabs that need to come back to the service hub over here. That'll actually have me 2/3 of the way through that mission, too. Although at that point, I may have to wrap up and call it a quick and easy win on next week's hard mode run. By the way, I did pick up from the rumor mill today that the Mastodon DLC that's supposed to be coming with a significant patch. It's not Season 10, but it's a big patch that, among other things, is going to add in the cross-platform saves. It has been approved by all platforms now, but the publisher is delaying its release for unspecified reasons, though it sounds like they were hinting that the end of the month might be possible, whereas the last time they were hinting at stuff, all it needed to do was receive the Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo approval, and it would be good to go. But it has those now, and it's not quite good to go. But hopefully by the end of the month, Mastodon will be out, and then the patch is supposed to add in the cross-platform saves, which will be good for people like me, since I've got 2 platforms that I run this on. And there are threats that the Xbox connectivity problems should be at least improved. The cynic in me wants to say, yeah, I bet it hasn't really, and that may be why they want to stall this off a little longer. But if they were to make a code change, they would have to go through the platform approval process again. It sounds like they don't have the plans to do that, so it sounds like it is a timing thing. And I would put my money on... what is the name of that cloud service they're going to use for the sync? It's like PROS, P-R-O-S, that stands for something semi-clever. I would bet that third-party service probably isn't quite ready for them to turn it on yet. I've got my account built there. There's some sort of promotional something that you're supposed to get for linking your account. I don't really know what it is, but that kind of plays into the it's not ready. There may be something in this new patch that's a promotional material that they aren't ready to do their unlocks on for getting everything hooked up. But hopefully by the end of the month, I'll be able to benefit from all of that stuff. My rumor machines have picked up nothing yet about Season 10 availability, though I would presume the PTS is probably still a good month away, and then full release another month beyond that. So I figure I'm going to be doing my hard mode SnowRunner and some farming sim and maybe some ATS on my Wednesdays. ATS does run on my Mac. It actually runs well on my Mac, but the way the developers set it up is it will only run on the primary display. And the primary display is where I would rather be running OBS and stuff. So I have to do some monkeying about in order to get it to actually work correctly. Great job! Look at that nice bridge. That's an awesome bridge. I'm gonna leave it running because I am feeling saucy that way. Quarry. Oh, the quarry is where it's going to want the metal beams to come from. But since I happen to be right here with concrete slabs, and it just happened to auto-select the mission I wanted it to, which is a rarity. It's kind of like auto-winch. Automatically winches the worst possible option. Let me run up and collect these. I'll go get that part done. And that will probably where I ended up calling it for the day. Let's see. Take that 8-slot trailer anywhere now. You forced it up. Oh, you got it to go up scout trails. I've seen a few of your streams where you've been doing some crazy stuff with that trailer. Stuff that I'd like to tell myself I could probably do, but it would take me so much longer. Concrete slab. Concrete slab. I'm making sure I got the same word everywhere, and it's the loading platform. Yes. Okay, this is a 2-slotter, so I'm going to have to do my stacking this time. That's okay. I definitely have experience with stacking. That's so weird. Oh, I say, why is it hanging at a weird angle like that? Oh, it's because I have it butted up against that joint in the crane. I can go ahead and pack that one so it's deliverable. And another slab. Grab a hold of you. Oops. Get you out of there a little farther. Got a little rotation. And we're just going to sit you down on top. We're going to pin you in place. I actually meant to leave it with a little bit of slack. But since it's not on a trailer, I don't have to worry about the rotation becoming a problem, but I actually should hold it in a pretty good spot. And let's head back to Service Hub. I know that metal beams are available back in town. So at least I know where I can go get those. But since that's going to mean 2 more map transitions, which are really slow on the Switch, I still get jealous every time I watch a PC or even PlayStation player move from map to map, and it's a matter of a couple of seconds. Well, for me, some of these maps, they take a good minute. I've had some take almost 2 minutes to load. I don't have that kind of time. Ain't nobody got that kind of time. Okay, beacon's on. Whew, safe. Headlights are still on. Hey there, damn. Weird patterns down in the water based on draw distances. We're having a really hard time with these chained tires getting around this corner. Getting a little slidey. Oh, they talk about that 8-slot trailer. I love it and I hate it. It's definitely impressive to watch you put that through its paces, though. How well does it do for you fully loaded versus empty? Can you do that trail stuff with it empty and full just as easily, or do you start losing things and have to repack them? When I first got going in this game, I really liked the 5-slot sideboard trailers because it helped me not lose things when it would tip up 45 degrees. You know, I wouldn't flip the truck or the trailer, but it would unpack stuff, or sometimes it would even dump stuff out, but the truck would still recover. But it meant I had to go pick stuff off the ground if I didn't have it. But then I reached the point where, especially when it came time to start stacking stuff up, that little sideboard always seemed to be a little too tall and kind of always got in the way of things. So I've started going for the 5-slot, both the flatbed and the step deck. The step deck makes it real easy to stack on an extra couple of slots worth of stuff. You kind of have a 6-slot trailer that you can double up then. A couple of those maps I've found just the straight up 5-slot flat. And just use it because it's really handy, really convenient. It's real easy to get stuff on and off. And once you're stacking stuff, the little short side beds don't really matter anymore at that point anyway. It's still only down 92 liters. It's good on fuel. We got some wobble in our walk here. Even without turning, it's still rocking pretty hard back and forth. We got some body roll. or it's just crazy Michigan pavement. I'll give credit to either. Wolf Grip. Was it always Wolf Grip? That name didn't sound familiar. It's been a long time since I worked on the Michigan map, but I don't remember it being Wolf Grip. Top engine, cargo management, deliver slab 1. Come out here, do a pack. Boom, we are 2/3 done. I will do a quick pan out just in case it wants to say, hey, you know what? The stuff you're looking for is actually right here in front of you. Why don't you just use it? Nope, doesn't say that. There we go. Oh yeah, it's all the spare parts plus the oil rig drill, which I was happy I discovered. So, because there was a mission back on the prior map that needed that. None of that is available. That one is just fuel. That's a mission. The farm is just consumables. Yep. Well. That's a clever name. That also has fuel. And that bad boy is slabs and bricks. So, yep, I'm going to have to go back to the other map to get those metal beams. So I am going to take that as an opportunity to set myself up for a quick and easy win next week. But for this week, I think I'm going to call... Man, I keep leaning in front of my poor sign. I need a little shelf on the wall to mount that on so it stays somewhere level and solid. But I'm going to call it a week for right there. It's been particularly warm by Pacific Northwest standards. The AC is actually running really well in here, but even at that, it's been in the 40s and 50s for the last 6 months, so now suddenly it's cracking 70 inside, and I just want to curl up and die like I've never been in warmth in my life, which I have, but here we go. So yes, go win next week. Thank you for the preemptive win cheer, chant, support. I'll take it all. I'm needy that way, I guess. I will accept it all. Let me take a quick peek, see if anybody oh my god, our extra good buddy Urgent Sandwich is actually up and streaming right now. We are going to go raid the crap out of his stream. He is hoping to finish off, if I recall correctly, Cult of the Lamb today. No clue whether he'll actually make it or not, because no one knows how long that game is. I think it's a mystery to science. Let me get him queued up. He's ready to kick off. I am going to give you some upbeat dance music as I go to my close screen. And on Saturday, I am going back to Metroid Prime Remastered. Zelda is off the table for the moment. I may change my mind in future weeks. But for right now, we're going back to Metroid Prime because I would like to get to the end of that game, and I'm only playing that one on stream. And then next Wednesday, we're going to come back and I'm going to get my quick and easy materials order win with those metal planks. It's going to be gorgeous. I look forward to seeing everybody. Thank you for coming. There's the music. Bye.